Hey guys, this is Josh Farley back with another video. And in this video, I'm actually going to be talking about phone storage. And I'm actually going to be talking about why I think that 256 gigabytes actually needs to be the new standard for phone storage, whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone. It doesn't really matter. I think that 256 gigabytes needs to be the standard over 128 gigabytes. So I'm actually going to talk about why I think that is in this video. So recently I actually upgraded from the Google Pixel 8 to the Google Pixel 8 Pro. And I got the 256 gigabyte model for the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I actually had the 128 gigabyte model for the Google Pixel 8, and I figured, that I was future-proofing. I figured that I would future-proof, and get the 256 gigabyte model, even though that is more. I wanted to future-proof, get a better phone. I have a video on my channel talking about that, but mostly what I'm going to talk about in this video is why I think that, especially Android, why I think that the 256 gigabyte, model of phones needs to be the new standard for storage. So I have a website here. It says make us of, yeah. It says, how much storage do I need on Android? And it says Android phones come with a range of storage sizes, but how much space do you actually need? And if you come down here, it actually says, not too long ago, it was common for flagship Android phones to come with up to 32 gigabyte of internal storage. That was considered enough for the time, but it's laughable by today's standards. And then it says here, if you're in the market to buy a new phone, 128 gigabyte of storage is the least you can get right now. But is that enough? How much storage do you actually need? Let's find out. It says, and then it says down here, they talk about expandable storage. I'm not going to really talk much about that. But actually a lot of phones are actually not accepting expandable storage anymore, and Google Pixel phones are definitely known for that. They don't offer expandable storage. Samsung is more, likely to offer expandable storage. So is Motorola. But I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm just talking about the internal storage. You really shouldn't have to worry about external storage on a phone, and that's just my opinion. Samsung and Motorola are more famous, for, allowing expandable storage, which I agree with. I think that you should have expandable storage on your phones, but, some of them don't offer that, and that's on them, it is what it is. I'm mainly talking about the internal storage on this video. I just want to talk about that, because I've been thinking about it for a while now. So I upgraded my Google Pixel 8 to the Google Pixel 8 Pro, mainly because of future-proofing reasons, and I have a video on my channel, talking more about that. I did that, mainly for the more storage, the better phone itself, the more RAM, all that kind of stuff, for future-proofing reasons. So, the main reason that I did that is because Android is actually a lot more powerful than iPhone. With iPhone, you would probably be able to get away with 128 gigabytes of storage, for a while, for probably a pretty long time, because with iPhone, with iOS, it's more locked down. You can't really do as much. You can't really download as many files. You can't download APKs. You can't download apps unless they're in the Apple App Store. Sorry about that. In the Apple App Store, or if you download, you can, sometimes, jailbreak them. You can download, third-party app stores and stuff like that. But they still, really wouldn't take up much storage space. It's an iPhone. They don't really, take up as much storage space as Androids do. Especially when it comes to the operating system. iOS is definitely a lighter operating system, than Android is. So, I thought about that, and that's why I'm making this video. I want you guys to know this. I thought about that, and I thought, Android is definitely a more powerful, storage hungry operating system, and it's just going to get, more powerful, every year, and it's just going to take up more storage, the more that you update, the more that you, download stuff, the more that you save photos, the more that you, save videos, app updates are getting bigger, Android operating systems are getting bigger, just stuff like that, you have to keep that kind of stuff in mind, for future-proofing reasons and stuff, like I said, that's why I upgraded to a bigger storage, for my Google Pixel 8 Pro, I opted for the 256 gigabyte model, for future-proofing reasons, so, basically, that's basically the point, that I'm getting at, I think that the 256 gigabyte needs to be the standard, for the storage. I think that you need to completely do away, with the 128 gigabyte, yeah, it is cheaper, and that's another thing. I think that they need to stop charging more, for internal storage. I think that that's just a BS thing, that they do, that they charge more for 256 gigabytes, over the 128 gigabytes. I just think it's ridiculous. And there's other phones out there, like I said, you don't really have to worry if you have external storage. But for people like me that have the Google Pixel phones, I'm not going to jump ship or anything to Samsung or Motorola or OnePlus or anything like that, over external storage. But I think that these phone manufacturers need to make the new standard 256 gigabytes. And I can actually show you guys on my Google Pixel 8 Pro here that I have a lot of apps on my phone and photos and stuff. And I haven't even really scratched the surface of the storage yet. It says 14% used, 220 gigabytes free. And I have 100 and some apps on my phone, 185 apps on my phone. So that's really good. I still have 220 gigabytes. And I do use cache cleaners and stuff. I have my phone rooted and stuff. I can show you guys there. I have Magisk installed, and I use a APK or an app called SD-Made. That's actually right here that I'm actually granting it root permissions right there. But it does require root, for, better cleaning and stuff. It goes actually into the root system itself, as you can see there, it asked me for root permissions, before I actually started it. But, on my 128 gigabyte model, my Google Pixel 8 model, the 128 gigabyte model, I noticed that I was almost running low on storage a few times, when I would save photos, I actually do use, cloud services. I use Mega, I use Google Drive, I use Google Photos, I use that kind of stuff, I use the free versions. I use Mega, mostly because they give you 50 gigabytes of free storage, cloud storage. I somewhat use Dropbox, but they don't really give you, that much of cloud storage for free. And they're, pretty expensive, for paying monthly, for cloud storage. So I use the 15 gigabytes free from Google Drive, and Google Photos, and, I haven't had a problem. I haven't went over or anything on that. I don't really take up, much space when it comes to photos or videos. I'll save them, either in Google Drive or I'll save them, in Mega, because I get 50 gigabytes free with that. And, I could always make another Mega, account, I could have, 2 Mega accounts, and, just sign up, with 2 accounts and get, basically 100 and some storage, for free. So that's, another thing you could do, or use, 2 Google accounts as well, so you can get more storage, with Google Drive or Google Photos, and Dropbox, they have a free one, too. I think you get like 10 gigabytes free or something with that. And then, they have other ones out there like Microsoft, stuff like that, other options, out there for cloud storage. So, it's kind of like, what operating system you have. If you have Android, I would definitely recommend the 256 gigabytes, especially in 2024, and beyond. But if you can't afford that, then you can opt in, using cloud storage. Some people are fine with 128 gigabytes, but for me, I wanted the future proof. I wanted the future proof, and make sure, that I have, enough storage. I don't really want to, I don't really want to have that, feeling. I don't have that feeling anymore. Where I have to use a cache cleaner, to try to get more storage back. I don't have that feeling to where I'm going to run low on storage, after an Android update or something like that, or if if I download too many apps, or if I download too many files, or if I, download too many pictures or videos, or take too many pictures or videos, I want to have that, peace of mind, for years to come, that I don't have to worry about, running low on storage. Did I ever get a storage warning, when I had the, 128 gigabyte model, of phones, when I had my Google Pixel 6, my Google Pixel 3a, my Google Pixel 7a, which I still have, did I ever get a storage warning? No, I didn't. But, I, don't want to have that, risk. I don't want to have that risk, of having that, happen, and having to want a cache cleaner, every now and then. I still do run a cache cleaner. A few of them that I recommend, is actually, CCleaner. That's actually free on the Google Play Store. And then, SD-Made, that's a root-only one. You can use SD-Made without root, but, it's better with root, because it actually gets into the, files more, the root file system, and it cleans out a bunch of junk in there and stuff, to get more, gigabytes of storage back. But I do, I still do use a cache cleaner, because it does give me storage back, when I need it, if I, I'm not going to actually need it, but, I like to have, as much storage as I possibly can, obviously, on my phone. I mean, who wouldn't? But, using cache cleaners is definitely a must, at least for me, and I recommend it, I highly recommend it. And I can actually leave them down below in the description. I'll actually leave the links down below in the description, to the CCleaner and the SD-Made, as well. But that's basically the video, guys. I just wanted to get a quick video out there, and talk about this. I definitely think that they need to stop charging more for extra storage. I mean, it is what it is. They're going to continue to do that. I guess it's basically like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Thing, which is basically true. Obviously, the more that I think about it, they're going to charge more for storage, because, it's, they're not just going to give you storage for free. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, they give you, the cloud storage is, they give you some, storage for free, but, most of the time it's not really much. Mega, they give you 50 gigabytes of storage for free, so that's really good, actually. I use that, all the time, and then I use the 15 gigabytes, that Google gives you, for the Google Drive and the Google Photos, which, might not seem like a lot. I'm actually hoping that they increase that a little bit to at least maybe like 20 or 25, for free users. So that would, definitely be nice. 15 gigabytes, that seems like a little bit, a little bit not, not too good, but also not too bad. It's kind of like in between, but, it's a free service, so, they're not going to give you, a lot. They're obviously going to want you to pay for, Google One storage, is what they call it. So, but, that's basically the video, guys. I just wanted to get this video out there. I just wanted to talk about this. Like I said, I do think that the 256 gigabyte, definitely needs to be the new standard, especially for Android. Like I said, with Android always getting bigger, always getting more power hungry, more storage hungry, especially, for phones like Google Pixel phones and stuff, that don't have, external storage options, and some, Samsung phones don't either. I believe that the newest Galaxy, you know, the newest Galaxy S24 series, I don't think that they have, external storage. So, you know, that's the thing. I mean, phones are, phone manufacturers are getting away from, external storage options, and that's definitely not good, because it's another thing that they use, to try to get people to spend more, which they got me to do it, this time, because I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to future-proof, I might as well, get a better storage option. So, that's basically the video. I just wanted to talk about this, because I myself, think that you should opt for the 256 gigabyte model, of storage. I just think that you should, especially for future proofing. But anyway, yeah, guys, that's basically it. Like I said, I just wanted to get this video out there. And if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys.